Hey players, I wanted to go over a few things from this last week. This is the first time we've had three games in a week. And we talked to last night about we went 3-0 this week, and that was really, really good. I wanted to highlight some things from last week and talk about some things coming up on how to finish the season. So I'm really going to touch on three things. One is going to highlight things from this last week, including the most important inning I think we had all week. Um, the second thing will be looking forward and where we are right now, looking forward to the end of the season. The third thing will kind of go along with that, and we're going to talk about expectations and what our expectations are for the rest of the season. So, real quickly to get started, these last three games, over the last three games, our bats really, really came alive. Over the last three games, we had 69 plate appearances, 46 at bats. Remember the difference between a plate appearance and an at bat from the summary videos is an at bat does not count things like walks and hit by pitches. We had 20 walks, we had two hit by pitches. So we had 46 at bats. Over these last three games, we saw 293 pitches. We had 25 hits these last three games. So that meant our batting average over the last three games was 543. That's higher than the season average. Our on base percentage was 681. That's higher than our season average. That means more than half the times we went up to bat, we got a hit. And almost in 68% of the time, we got on base in some capacity, whether that was from a hit, a walk, or being hit by the pitch. That is really, really difficult for teams to defend against. Okay. And that's why we had the success we did. We had a game where we scored 9 runs, where we scored 5 runs, and another where we scored 8. I mean, that is really, really good. 22 runs over a 3-game stretch. That's something really, really good that we can be happy with, we can be proud of. So we did a really, really good job this week with our bats. Okay. And we did a really, really good job this week in our fielding and in our pitching. We were very efficient in our pitching. We were efficient in fielding. We made numerous putouts. So that's when somebody grounds out. Somebody gets the ground ball, they throw over to first, they get an out at first, or they tag somebody in the baseline, or they go to their nearest bag and they get a force out. That's a put out. We also had some pop flies this week that we caught. We had one last night that we came off of the mound catching. We had Monday, we had a foul ball caught. We had one caught at shortstop on Monday as well. So we were doing really, really well in the field. And even last night, when it was the third game of the week, the second game in back-to-back days, and we didn't have the cleanest game, we found a way to get it done. We still made outs in the field when we needed to. So that's something to really, really be happy with and really, really celebrate. Now, the most important inning of the week to me it goes back to Monday when we were playing the Brewers. And we had in the first inning, we threw 37 pitches. Okay. 37 pitches in the first inning. That's a lot of pitches in one inning. And I was starting to get a little worried how long we were going to be able to last in that game with 37 pitches in the first inning. If we would have replicated that in the second inning, we would have had to bring on another pitcher starting in the third. The second inning, we go out. We got one strikeout, we got a pop out in the infield, and then we got a fly out in the infield. We threw 10 pitches in that second inning. So instead of our pitcher coming in, possibly having already thrown 60, almost 70 pitches in 2 innings, he's able to come in, he's thrown 47 pitches. That extended him for another inning. That allowed him to go another inning, and then we were able to bring on somebody to close out the game in the fourth. That is the most important inning we had this week because of the efficiency we had in the field. We didn't have any extra outs that we had to make. As I said, we got a strikeout, we got 2 outs in the field. Very, very solid fielding play and everyone was ready to go. That's what makes that the most important inning this week. Because if that would have gone a different way, then we have to bring on another pitcher earlier. That could mess with what we're trying to do later in the week as far as having our starting pitching, our relieving pitching come in, our relief pitching come in, and the innings that they're going to be able to get, the work that they're going to be able to get. So that was really, really important. That's a really, really important inning. And I'm really proud of everybody for being able to do that. And you should be proud of yourselves and be happy for that and celebrate that. The second thing I want to talk about is looking where we are right now and looking forward to the rest of the season. So right now we've played 9 games. We are 6-1-2. We have 6 wins, 1 loss, 2 ties. Okay. That's really, really good. We should be happy where we are right now. We have 3 more regular season games, and then we have at least 1 tournament game. So we have at least 4 more games. What we can do over this next week, we are, in the regular season, there's a lot of things that we want to try to do. There's a lot of things we want to try to work on. One of the things we need to work on right now is what a lot of coaches talk about, refer to as avoiding the headlines. Right now, we've won 6 games. We won 3 games in a row. Actually, going back, I think we won 4 games in a row. So we're on a streak right now. That's really, really good. Celebrate that. Be happy about that. But also be aware why that has happened, why these outcomes have happened the way that they have, is because people are prepared. You all are being prepared to play. You all are thinking the game, and you all are making the plays when you have the opportunity, whether at the plate or in the field. That's what you're doing. We want to avoid any talk or thinking, how good we are, whether we should win these last 3 regular season games. If we have been in a situation where so far this season, everybody in this league has won a game and everybody in this league has lost a game. If we look at us, we have beat, we are one team's only win so far. We are one team's only loss so far. So the lesson to take from that is day to day, the way baseball works and life in general, is day to day things can happen. As soon as you start thinking you're doing really, really well, and then if you happen to stumble and you happen to lose, sometimes that's luck. But a lot of times what that actually is people thinking, oh, I'm really, really good right now. I don't need to put in the work. I don't need to put in the effort. I don't need to put in the concentration. That is something that can't be farther from the truth. Um, we need to continue to be prepared. We need to continue to play because everyone in this league can beat anyone else in this league, and anyone can lose to anyone else in this league. So that's something really, really important to keep in mind also, as we look at where we are now and as we look at where we want to finish the season. Okay. And that goes into the third thing I want to talk about. The third thing is expectations. So I want to talk about what our expectations are, what our teams, what our coaches' expectations are for the rest of the year. Sitting where we are right now, you might think expectations are, hey, we're going to win every game. We want to win every game that we're playing. That's great. We're obviously going to try to win every game. You always try to win every game that you're in, but the expectation is different. The expectation needs to be part of the process, not the end game or not the result. Okay. At the end of a game, that's when you get the result. You either win, loss, or tie. The process is what happens in between that up to that point. And so our expectations as coaches, our expectations as the team is we are going to continue to work on the process. And what that means is when you go up to bat, you know what to do. Right now, we are doing so well. We have this last week, as I pointed out, we had more walks than we had strikeouts. We had 25 hits this past week. We had a lot more hits than we had strikeouts. We had a lot more hits than we had walks. Last night, we had 3 strikeouts. That was a really, really good hitting night with only 3 strikeouts. That happened because you all are preparing and you all are concentrating on what you need to do. Once you're prepared and once you know what you need to do, then you can just go and play. And everything else becomes just kind of muscle memory. And when a ball comes to you in the infield or the outfield, you need to make a play, you need to make a catch, you know what to do. You don't have to think about what you need to do because you already know it. You've already thought about it. You've already worked through it. At the plate, you all are at the point now where you are watching your strikes and your balls, and you're learning to be patient. Sometimes work a count. It's important to work a count. Don't help a pitcher that's struggling, but you get a good pitch, then you go for it. And we follow through with that. So that's our expectations. Our expectations are not on the end product. The expectations are on the process. Are we doing what we need to do, what we've been taught to do, what we are learning to do for the rest of the year? So are you are you thinking the game? Are you paying attention during the game? That's an expectation. When you get up to the plate, are you looking for your pitch? Are you, excuse me, able to watch a ball go by that's a ball, and swing at a strike? Or if you're still wanting to let the first strike go, that's perfectly fine. This is all something that you all are able to do now because you have gone through the learning process so far in these first 9 league games and 2 non-league games. You've gone through that process, and so everybody's playing really, really well, and everybody's learning really, really well. So those are the expectations. Not We're not going to focus on the end of the game and what happens at the end of the game. We're focusing on what is happening right then. Okay. What you are doing at the plate, focus on, if it's your time at the plate, focus on your time at the plate. When you're out in the field, focus on what you need to do. Know the situations. If the ball comes to you, what do you need to do? If you are pitching, what should you be doing? If you are catching, what should you be doing? Knowing your position. If you're in the outfield and a ball comes to you, where do you need to get the ball so we hold runners at first or we hold runners at second and keep them from scoring? We did that last night and it worked out well for us. We ended an inning with the bases loaded because we made those good mental plays to hold people at bases instead of allowing them to score. So those are the expectations. Knowing the process and looking at what you need to do in the moment. Let the other coaches, let us worry about game strategy. Okay. I shared with you all that that's what I'm thinking about a lot of the times during the game. That's why I'm writing things down. That's why I'm making notes. Let me worry about all of that. You all just worry on your process, about your process, and make sure that you know what you should be doing in the moment. And then when that moment happens, just have fun. Just be relaxed and just allow yourself to play and allow yourself to make a good play on the ball, a good hit while you're at bat, or a smart at bat and take a walk if we need it. All right. So I'm looking forward to the last 3 games. I'm looking forward to practice and getting people together. This was a really, really good week for everybody. And I want you to celebrate that. And I also want you to know how we got here and what we're going to look at for the future, what our expectations are for the future. Remember that over these last 3 or 4, however many games we play, our expectation is not the end, not the result at the end of the game, but our expectation is, are we doing what we need to do during the game? And then we'll see what happens with the result at the end. All right. Thanks, everybody.